welcome back to an episode of Vass Reacts. We got Jordan Friends. See, I don't really react to Jordan Friends. I normally watch him on my lonely because Jordan Friends channel is literally the shit that I talks about on TikTok here and there. Remember this, remember that. But Jordan Friends put it into full-fledged feature-length videos, which my ADHD does not allow me to do that. But I had to clip it, making sure I'm trying to get to shit, actually do this. But we got a video by him called Nickelodeon'S NFL Propaganda Cartoon, and he's talking about NFL Rush Zone. I've seen a few episodes recently, but this is a great video that have to come out now because football season has just started. I am a Baltimore Ravens fan at heart. But NFL Rush Zone, I wasn't a fan of the cartoon because I wasn't into football when that came out, but I tuned into it. I watched it here and there. That what made me try to get into football. But I ain't getting into football until like later after the show ended. But let's see what Jordan Friends got to say. Because football season is upon us, and let's talk about one of the greatest football cartoons that came out around that time.
Ah, yes, it's the start of the football season. Or something, I don't really know. I'm not really a sports guy, at least when it comes to watching traditional sports like football on TV. With that being said, Nickelodeon wasn't going to let this slide. They wanted me to care about watching sports, more specifically here, football, when they teamed up with the NFL to bring out a cartoon series that just needed to incorporate the world of the NFL as its central theme. But the rest of it, with whatever would be left, well, it could be whatever it wanted. And what it wanted was to basically be like the Power Rangers. And on top of this, the whole base concept of the story that happens here kind of turns the NFL as a whole into a giant secret alien conspiracy. And I am not joking when I say that. So let's just talk about it. Let's see how this series came to be in the first place, as well as how the partnership between the NFL and Nickelodeon evolved. And of course, what the show was all about. The main premise of NFL Rush Zone gives us the story of 10-year-old Ish, who is a fan of football but never got picked to play the game by his peers, so he definitely feels left out. One day, however, he is contacted by a person named OT, who wants Ish's help to keep safe the real secret of the NFL. You see, there is this core that apparently holds the essence of the universe within it. For its safety, the core was split into shards, with these alien creatures being in charge of protecting the individual pieces they have of it. When the bad guy named Sudden Death tries to go after it to use it in destroying the world or the universe or ruling it or turning everyone into robots or something, the aliens protecting the shards, who are known as Rushers, yes, that's Rushers with a Z at the end, end up landing on Earth, as they then split off to build 32 safe spots where they could hold and defend the shards from Sudden Death coming to get them. Yes, these 32 safe spots would end up being the 32
all the NFL stadiums in the fucking world and actual teams. So yeah, your favorite team didn't come from a guy in his office. No, it came from it came from outer space with aliens that looks like your favorite team's mascot. Yeah.
NFL stadiums. Now, they didn't adopt these special personas at their individual stadiums. The Rushers, somehow, always looked like mascots, and just perfectly had the right match in their designs for the locations that they would separately have for their stadiums. Ish gets brought into this world to be a guardian and help fight back against those going after the core, thanks to his ability to enter the Rush Zone thanks to the power of the core. And basically, the Rush Zone is where Ish locks in, getting all this IRL cutaways to real player highlights that can now help him in dealing with whatever situation he's in. Now, with the structure of the first season, all of it really fills the role of a prequel or a prologue to when things really become a full-on show with the second season. This same premise is then expanded into Ish now being 11 and moved over to Ohio, because that's where the Football Hall of Fame is and they need that in the show, as we then get other Guardians that join Ish, that being Ash, Ricky, Troy, Tua, and Marty, as now there are new villains in the form of Wildcard and Dropkick, as they are after these special football-looking pieces of the core called Mega Cores.
Yep.
And that's it. That's the main plot for the rest of the series.
Yeah.
These kids are now supposed to protect the NFL, which in doing so, saves the universe.
Rush Zone is up next.
Ah! Nostalgia! 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 NFL Rush Zone is up next. Bro, he's right. That's the whole show. That's literally the whole show. That's if Ish and his friends are trying to protect these cores to stop either wild card, sudden death, or drop kick from gathering all the cores. Ish channels the power of certain abilities from certain players inside his own rushing ability when he enters the rush zone. Now, only problem I had with the show was the Ravens were only featured once, and I never liked it. But yeah,
It's NFL Rush Zone.
So the world of
It picked
NFL
bumpers
Rush
in!
Zone didn't
Oh
start
my
out
God.
as this cartoon series. We'll catch back up to speed with that here later on, but in the beginning, NFL Rush Zone was this online
oh,
space
I remember this. I remember this. I remember this. I'm ready to fucking cry. I'm about to cry. I remember this.
for young NFL fans to hang out and play games within, much like you'd see with spaces like Club Penguin, for example. Nickelodeon and NFL would come together at some point in a way that can be a win-win for both of them, crossing over Nicktoons and football, where you'd still get an action-based cartoon, as it would also be a huge advertisement for the NFL. So taking the brand of NFL Rush Zone, it was all about expanding that idea into a full-on series. NFL Vice President of Fan Strategy and Marketing Peter O'Reilly said, "Millions of children have discovered the fun of the NFL Rush Zone online world in the past 2 years, and this new series is a great way of bringing the Rush Zone to an even wider audience every week during the NFL season." The, at the time, Nicktoons general manager and senior vice president of programming partnerships, Keith Dawkins, would state, "It was great to be partnering with the NFL. To be able to bring the power of two brands that boys love, the NFL and Nicktoons, together under one roof and leverage the best of what we both do is extremely exciting. This new series combines fantasy, sports, gameplay, teamwork, competition, and the age-old theme of good versus evil under one compelling new narrative." Now that's what I call brand synergy. Speaking of brand synergy, I want to take a moment to thank today's video sponsor, Fabletics. Fabletics has been the solution to everything I had been looking for when it comes to needing the best activewear out there, helping me live a healthier lifestyle all around, as well as
This is like the third ad I've seen for Fabletics because I keep getting emails and fucking coupons. I never used Fabletics a day in my life, but now I will start to use it.
feeling comfortable in it. In addition to feeling nice in it, it also just looks really nice. And the functionality of them is
Oh, he
legitimately
switched the
unmatched.
fit up. Okay.
Fabletics follows a great 3F rule: fashion, fit, and function. All three are clearly
Oh,
checked
he's
off
switching
with
the
any piece
fit.
that you wear.
Okay.
I love how breathable the shirts feel, and with incredible features like sweat-wicking fabric, it makes dealing with sweat a no-sweat situation. The shorts, on top of having the same sweat and odor-resistant features, have these internal and external pockets to them. So if you're going on a little jog, you don't have to worry about your phone bouncing around. It's the little details and thoughtfulness from Fabletics that shows they know what an active person would want from their clothes. Beyond this, Fabletics wants to help you enter into the fall season correctly. Becoming a VIP member not only will get you up to 50% off every item, but you will also get a special 80% off deal for your first few items.
Okay.
And then 70% off the rest of your order once you sign up. With your VIP membership, you'll also get a two-piece outfit, a kit,
I ain't gonna lie,
or
that
any
jacket
single
hard.
item
That
up to
one jacket, that shit
$100
hard.
every month, or at the start of the month between the 1st and the 5th, you can choose to skip without being charged for that month. Plus, under the membership, you get access to shop across men's and women's styles, as well as scrubs and even Yitty, plus many other perks and benefits like early access to new drops, VIP-only sales, and more. I've been wearing Fabletics activewear for a little while now, and I genuinely love the premium quality feel that everything has to it. I love the way they look, I love the way they feel, and so will you. So click the link in the description to get 80% off your order when signing up to become a new VIP. Thanks again to Fabletics for sponsoring this video. Now, Nickelodeon has always had major initiatives to get the audiences watching to go be more active, to go outside and play. I mean, who can forget when they would have the whole
Worldwide Day of Play. I stopped him before he even said something. I remember, bro, the Worldwide Day of Play was the worst shit in the world. They wanted us to go outside and play, then Cartoon Network tried to pull the same bullshit, talking about get active. But when the Worldwide Day of Play happened all the time, it was always fucking raining. They did it at the wrong time in the middle of fall. But now, oh, it is that time. Damn, it's fall already. God damn, season's changing. But the Worldwide Day of Play would be like the craziest thing ever. But we would just switch to Disney Channel and Cartoon Network.
Worldwide Day of Play thing, where all of Nickelodeon's suite of channels stopped broadcasting shows and instead had a message on the screen that would tell you to go outside and play. I guess 3 hours somehow equals a whole day, but come on, Nickelodeon needed to get back to delivering the cartoon goods at the proper peak hours. But all of this to say, yeah, I guess it makes sense that Nickelodeon would start working with the NFL in this capacity, wanting to create a cartoon around.
Because Nickelodeon was with the NFL, Cartoon Network was with the NBA, and Disney Channel was just all around.
The already established IP that had around 2 million users already, to where there could be some good brand recognition. Things, however, would start out slow. This wasn't going to be a full-on series right away, but instead something that could feel more like a webtoon, both in animation quality and length. The whole first season of the show, dubbed Guardians of the Core, would be 22 episodes of these 2 to 5 minute shorts that would premiere weekly throughout the NFL season. But this wasn't for the main Nickelodeon channel, no. This was airing on their sister channel, Nicktoons. At the same time, the series would also premiere on NFLRush.com so they could get the...
This is why I used to say Nicktoons was the better channel. Nicktoons used to air. When I mean season premiered so much shit, Nickelodeon had to clean sweep. Like, nope, we don't like it. Nicktoons was getting so much more rap than the main channel. It was ridiculous.
Attention from the audience there that may not have been able to see or even know about it being on Nicktoons. After this would all come to an end in February of 2011, this whole thing kind of disappeared for a bit, making it seem like it was a one and done deal. But surprisingly, over a year and a half later, we would actually get word about why there was nothing more of this joint project for so long. And that's because they were busy turning NFL Rush Zone into a full-fledged cartoon series instead of just being shorts. We are proud to partner with the NFL to bring Nicktoons viewers a full-length second season of NFL Rush Zone, combining rich storytelling, animation, fantasy, and kid-relatable content with teamwork, competition, and the world of the NFL. NFL Rush Zone truly reflects the best of our two worlds. That was said once again from Keith Dawkins, as he said a lot of the same things that he said before, but this time announcing the partnership has grown to where this is going to be a full-on show now. We are thrilled to continue our relationship with Nickelodeon by expanding the NFL Rush Zone world that kids love through a first-of-its-kind animated series. That was said by Peter O'Reilly, and I'm not too sure what that last part meant. You know, a first-of-its-kind? But okay, sure, what the heck. He would continue on to say as well, young fans and parents will relate to our unlikely hero.
He said the same shit. It's the same shit he's saying. He's just reusing what he said.
While also experiencing their favorite NFL teams and players in a whole new animated way. The same kind of setup and deal would happen here between the two brands, with the Nicktoons channel premiering this season 2 of the show, titled Season of the Guardians, while NFLRush.com would host the episodes online afterwards. This time, the NFL Network channel would even play reruns of the episodes too, as well as have high-definition versions of the episodes being able to be viewed on video boards in NFL stadiums. So to give credit where it's due, there was a big effort in making this series a big deal and seen by their direct audiences, more so football fans than just Nickelodeon fans though. This partnership would continue on for a third season dubbed Guardians Unleashed,
I'm getting
but
goosebumps,
that was it.
bruh.
After the third season came to an end in
getting
October of
goosebumps.
2014, the show never would continue. And to make matters worse, the series would end on a cliffhanger.
Another episode of Rush Zone is up next.
It's NFL Rush Zone.
With how the third season came to an end, it teases that the main story in dealing with the big bad of the series Wildcard isn't over, as he escapes defeat with the kids themselves doing that whole teasing thing where they know something is going to be coming thanks to all of this, and everyone is counting on them to take care of things and be protectors. So while not saying what will happen next, they just know something is gonna happen and the story isn't over. There was never a confirmed fourth season that was in the works or planned, but based on how this final season ends, it kind of makes it clear that they weren't done and that more would have been ready to be made if the series would have continued. I do think that if you found yourself caring about the story on like a true deeper level, if that's even possible for this show, then maybe there is enough here to be satisfied with how it ends, but it just feels empty, and even more of an insult after watching every episode only to get to this conclusion. Now, regardless of the show ending and the whole NFL Rush Zone thing in general just kind of fading away over time and not really being a thing anymore, the relationship between the NFL and Nickelodeon was fine. And in fact, you could say that it's stronger than ever now, as Nickelodeon directly
Nickelodeon's
plays
prime time.
full-on games on their network.
Yep.
But not just on some rebroadcasting type of deal. Not even close. Because
Live
these
games.
are full-on
Live
special
games.
versions and different ways to view the actual game.
It gives kids more insight into the NFL. They I think during the Super Bowl, they actually did Sweet Victory when they aired the Super Bowl and they aired playoff games and Christmas games as well. This is what I like from Nickelodeon. Like, you actually have a full, because CBS with Nickelodeon and CBS, Paramount, Nickelodeon, CBS, they're this main, I think Viacom it's one of the other. It gives them the chance to give people more eyes into the NFL. And I watched a couple games on Nickelodeon as well. Even though I seeing Lincoln Loud half the time, Dora giving us the insights for the first down is, Patrick commentating, it gets annoying, but it's fun. It's real different. I wish Cartoon Network would literally do some shit like that when it comes to NBA games, like live NBA games sometimes. But Nickelodeon started something, and now they're taking it to the moon.
With a lot of extra special effects done on the screen to make things more fun and dynamic for the viewers, as well as commentary provided by actors, or having voice actors come and do their iconic Nickelodeon IP voices, like the whole SpongeBob crew, for example. Now, I'm not saying that in modern day it pulls me in to want to watch sports on TV, but I do think that if they did stuff like this when I was a kid, I'm honestly not ruling out that there could have been a chance of me getting into it more back then. As for NFL Rush Zone now, it stands as this kind of weird cartoon, and no, not weird just for the sake of the mascot creature alien things that look the way they do and honestly make me feel uncomfortable. Weird for the fact that if you strip away all the NFL stuff from it, you really aren't left with anything that could work on its own or feel unique in any way. The main plots are extremely formulaic and generic and only seem to be built around giving the spotlight to how awesome the NFL is, how cool the team or the players featured in the episodes are, and whew, it's really, at the end of the day, just a giant ad for the NFL. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. What cartoon wasn't or isn't pushing something else like toys or cards or other pieces of media? I get that, but this, different from all the legal ways other shows go about promoting other parts of their franchises, just feels like 22 minutes of a straight ad to watch football, or go to a game in person, or go visit the Football Hall of Fame in Ohio. You need to truly join the world of the NFL. It constantly, in every episode, only feels like it serves one purpose, making you want to watch and be into the NFL ecosystem. At no point did it feel like any of the effort made to design some bit of the story that involves a group of kids protecting the NFL at all costs was truly there outside of basic outlines and ideas that all serve to just highlight some team or some players of the week. And speaking of the real players and people that they would have voice act in the series, yeah, they're not actors, man. So that really doesn't help for the entertainment value, but I'm not hating on that. Get your bag. And you know what? The show ending with answers and resolutions not fully being given to the audience really cements these sentiments I'm expressing. They can tease substance, something more than just watch football, but they can't deliver on that promise. Or here with a cool football analogy, they can get a couple first downs, but they can never score a touchdown. Throughout the 3 seasons of the show, I didn't find myself caring about the main characters or the missions they would go on or who they had to fight. There just never felt like a good reason to care. Maybe, and I'll give it this, maybe it's because I don't really care about football. Maybe it's fully a me thing, and if you like football and care about the teams and the players and are into this world completely, then maybe the show does have something cooler to offer to you more than it ever would to me. I have no ill will to those who love football. Having a hobby and being really invested in it is a great thing, but sometimes you sports fans out there take this whole hobby thing a little too far. Cosplaying as players.
Why Ravens fans? Hey, hold on. Why you shoot me? God, fuck me. Damn, what you say fuck me for?
A little too far. Cosplay.
First of all, I don't like how he did this. I know you just pulled the clip. Why I gotta be Ravens fans? First of all, we respect 8 over here. We respect the only LJ we actually love. Yes, we do love our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, but we also love our King Lamar Jackson. But I'm let him finish before I go off.
Playing as players by wearing their jerseys, buying memorabilia and collectibles, traveling to go see the games in person to cheer for your team, both sober and drunk, depending on your age. I mean, come on. Don't you think that all of that is just a little bit silly?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, okay, point taken. Heck, I literally just even went to the Pokemon World Championships to watch other people play Pokemon. I am sorry for being a hypocrite. At the end of the day, I don't think an idea like this is a bad one. I, in fact, love that there is always some sort of push from Nickelodeon to get younger audiences interested in outdoor activities and sports. Growing up, just because I didn't watch sports on TV, didn't mean I wasn't outside and playing basketball with friends or tossing around a football or even skateboarding, which was my personal favorite thing to get into outside of playing basketball. I do think a show like this can work. I love a lot of sports media, specifically all of the many great movies and shows all about them that are out there. But at their core, what they all have is substance. Whether that's following the story of a singular person or watching a team having to work together to overcome a hard challenge, there was just always more to offer than just advertising the sport itself. If I'm watching a movie like Friday Night Lights, I am there for the characters and the story that ultimately involves the sport, but I am not there solely for the sport itself. And I think that's the big difference for me when it comes to a show like this. I know a show like NFL Rush Zone could work if it wasn't for the focus always having to be about the NFL, and instead would go and focus on the characters themselves. Sure, getting to have the players and teams directly involved in the episodes may have been cool fanfare, but with this being important to every episode makes it so that any special feeling that could have been there is now completely gone. For me, there really isn't anything to discuss too deeply when it comes to what we see in the series. The plots and characters feel so uninspired, repetitive, and, for it being an action series, boring. I would have probably just enjoyed watching the NFL rather than what felt more like a giant ad to watch the NFL, you know? What was more interesting to me was seeing how these brands came together to make this happen, because the show just wasn't for me, and even if it was, I don't think it had enough substance to really break down, you know? Outside of understanding that it was all NFL propaganda. Now, with that all being said, what are your thoughts on NFL Rush Zone? Did you ever get a chance to see this series while it aired? Were you into it either because you genuinely enjoyed it for what it was, or because it was so heavily filled with real NFL branding and included the real teams and players? Let me know all of that and more in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like on this video and to subscribe for more videos like.
Okay, video over. All right, so let me get my opinion on this. I'm gonna give my thoughts on this. Okay, when NFL Rush Zone first came out, I was not a fan because I wasn't into football back then. But I was a fan of possibly seeing my city team on a cartoon show. I will try to watch, but I never saw my city team on a cartoon show until like later in that season. As a non-NFL fan back then when I was a child, how can I put it? Without being a fan of football, but a fan of watching cartoons, and yeah, he's right. NFL Rush Zone felt flat, no story. It was a big ass NFL advertisement. It was just something to tell you, hey, watch the NFL, watch the NFL. It was like getting punched in your face, keep telling you to watch the NFL. The Rush Zone website, I was on that because I came across it on Nickelodeon.com. I was a fan of open virtual world games. Clicked on it. It was fun to play. Now, today, like I said, I felt like that was a call out. He, said Baltimore. I'm talking about that too. I'm talking about that now. So, to talk about him saying us, worship the yeah, people go crazy over the NFL now. It's the embodiment of America. We represent our favorite players and whatnot because we want to see our city win. It's more about the players, but it's more about seeing our city actually win something that gives people hope. I got into football like late 2018, and it was fun watching. Now I understood the excitement. I understood the push. I understood the game. I understood everything. I wanted to be a football player myself. But when I was a child, I never really, was like interested into it. I think NFL Rush Zone should come back because it will bring a lot more people into football now today. which with the Taylor Swift propaganda, Taylor Swift coming in, bringing Swifties into football. A lot of people coming into football now. Um, if it come back today, have it more story driven, character written. Have these NFL stars be actual voice actors. Have them at least try their best to do what they gotta do. Because just make it more. Don't make it bland how it used to be back then. Just make it more story based. Not, oh, let's go find the core every episode, stop, drop kick, or sudden death, and let's learn a life lesson at the end. But this little, this little fuck me right here. When he said, the Ravens was the first one that popped up. I'm from Baltimore. I'm a huge Baltimore Ravens fan. I love Lamar Jackson. I love the team. I want to see them win because we haven't won since 2012, and I want to see them bring home a Super Bowl trophy sometime this year. Now that I'm an adult and I actually care about football now, but he's right. He made a point. Jordan Fridge made a point. That's why I love watching his videos. I watched most of his videos on a long time, but since football season now is upon us, it was only right to react to this video. But yeah, Jordan Fringe, you came to play. You all hits, no misses. All right. Anyway, this has been Vass Reacts. Like, comment, subscribe. Original link to the video will be down in the description below, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.